So next up is going to be PeduL and CHISA, and Troy will be the expert that will give the first answer. I have to say, as we're transitioning, that I'm so proud of all of you. You're seeing the Tibetan method at work. Black Learners Matter, the event was inspired by Tibetan and execute against the Tibetan method, which was you put the story out there and you collaborate to get it done. And then also I did a very quick persuasive storytelling workshop and went through that curriculum with the founders, and they are crushing it. So I'm really proud of you. CHISA, do you want to go?
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
4 years ago, when I was an undergrad, a lot of my friends that looked like me dropped out of school, not because they got in trouble and not because their grades were bad, but because they couldn't afford the next semester. And as I graduated and went on to Google and NBC and iHeartRadio, I kept seeing how often I was the only minority in the room. And it was very hard not to connect the dots to the bottleneck that I witnessed earlier in my college career. And that was the seed that blossomed into PeduL. PeduL is a data-driven scholarship marketplace, next slide please, that allows students to apply to thousands of scholarships with a single application. And on the other side of that marketplace, it is a scholarship builder that allows individuals, organizations, and corporations to create and manage scholarships for their strategic needs. Now, what makes us really special is we enable corporations to overcome discriminatory compliance that hinders them from diversifying their organizations. What that means is Audible, the Amazon company that works with us, they can't go onto a job listing platform and say they're looking to hire a Black woman developer or a Latino data scientist. But what they can do is put up a scholarship for the exact same thing on PeduL, specify the year and the age demographic, second-year grad school, third-year undergrad, and we can accumulate thousands of students of that similar accord, and they can turn that pool into a candidate pipeline, a pipeline that they can allocate things like workforce development tools to, and really increase the skill set of the workers that are going to change what their company looks like. Next slide, please. Now, when it comes to us, we're really looking to partner and get introduced to more HR professionals, more university administrators, and we're raising. So we're looking to talk with more investors. And my question to the judges is, how can you help PeduL scale our corporate clients, but also work with more universities so that we can turn Black learners into Black leaders? Thank you.
Yes. Troy, do you want to take a shot at the first?
Sure. Yeah, CHISA, this is great. You know, I really am impressed by the what you've done and the opportunity that you're attacking. You know, I think there's two different things that you're doing here: solving the diversity issue for employers, as well as then helping scholarship providers who have historically provided scholarships to get a diverse group of applicants. I mean, one of the things that I learned over the last decade is that there are many of these orphan scholarship funds. Yes. I think the data that I heard was that over 80% of scholarships at most universities don't get a single application for them. There's these little $500, $1,000, and $2,000 scholarships that have been endowed and created, and they're hidden away, and they're not getting applications. So if you can pull those things to the surface, and the fact of the matter is the advancement offices at most universities are, it's a black eye for them, because somebody gave the money, and now somebody from that family is saying, well, who got the scholarship this year? And if no one applied, it's actually a really, you know, bad thing for the university. So the universities want to solve this, and of course the kids need access to this money, and so you're solving a problem on two sides. And I think the innovation on the employer side is an interesting one as well, where you can use the same platform for yet a third side of the marketplace. I think you go about those two different businesses differently, and I'd be very happy to spend some time with you thinking through how you go in which order you take both those. I think if you try to do both simultaneously, it could be a distraction. So I think you can build the single platform and prioritize one over the other, and we can talk about which one might make more sense. But I think the unified application, as I understand it, is a very innovative model, because it's, scholarships.com exists and other sites exist that kind of catalog thousands of scholarships, but there's not the seamless way to apply to multiple of them in one way. And that's what I understand to be your innovation here. And I'd love to dig into the details with that and about how you make that work as well.
I appreciate you, first off, for going late to your board meeting, and I'm looking forward to talking with you. I really appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Troy. Yeah, Troy was really excited to connect with you. We talked about you yesterday. It seems like weeks ago. And so I'm glad that you got a chance to connect. And it's truly important, I'll say, for me, it was part of a huge decision-making process. And when I got out of Cornell and then later Harvard in the early 90s, I had over $100,000 in debt back then. So I think about how a platform like yours could affect so many kids, because it can, and I knew I was going to end up with that debt. And it was daunting to decide to take the leap of faith coming out, and I know that happens with so many people of color, because, we don't have the resources to pay for it. And many of the certain schools don't, it's hard to find money like that, like grant related money or scholarship related money. So